Okay, let's dive straight into this explainer with a number that frankly completely blew my mind. 1,200 to 8,000 rupees. That is the massive retail profit margin you can unlock by assembling a water purifier with components that cost just a few hundred rupees. Now I know what you're thinking. Sounds kind of like a scam, right? But it's actually entirely real.
Welcome to our deep dive into the hidden factory prices of RO water purifiers. Today, we're exposing exactly how you can build a highly profitable business from scratch using insider wholesale pricing that the retail market definitely doesn't want you to know about.
We're going to tear down an RO machine piece by piece to prove just how accessible this whole process really is. We'll start with the hidden RO profit secret, look at the external shell and connectors, dive into the core pumping engine, break down the filtration brain, talk about the final polish, and finally show you how to actually start your business today.
So, Part 1. The hidden RO profit secret. Summer demand meets factory pricing. As summer approaches, the demand for clean, safe drinking water just absolutely skyrockets. And this makes it the absolute perfect season to tackle unemployment by starting your own assembly business. Here's the trick. By bypassing those massive retail markups and sourcing your parts directly from wholesale distributors like V-Drop RO Systems, you control the profit. You're buying premium parts for as low as 200 to 840 rupees, but that fully assembled machine, it commands thousands in the open market.
The contrast is just staggering when you look at what technicians pay at wholesale versus what everyday consumers pay at retail. Take a VS booster pump. It's 600 rupees wholesale, but retails around 3,000. An adapter is 200, but retails up to 1,500 rupees. Even a simple Nexus float switch is just 35 rupees compared to 150 at retail. The margins are practically built in right from the start.
Moving on to Part 2, External Shell and Connectors, Building the Foundation.
What's really fascinating here is the sheer quality you get for pennies on the dollar. For just 840 rupees, you secure a premium, food-grade, anti-cockroach ABS cabinet from brands like Nexus. This forms the unbreakable core of your whole system. Then you add bulkheads to manage the water flowing in and out for a mere 6 rupees each. Add some Cetone X clamps to hold your filters securely for just 2 rupees and 50 paise. Honestly, the structural integrity of this machine costs less than a fast food meal. It's essentially like putting together a set of adult Legos.
But a quick warning here, beware of the super cheap cabinets. You absolutely have the option to choose cheaper parts to save a few rupees, but low-quality plastics break so easily. For instance, when you're installing the front tap, a weak cabinet can just crack right down the middle, completely ruining the entire unit. Trust me, investing slightly more in that food-grade ABS cabinet prevents structural failures that could cost you your customers' trust down the road.
Part 3. The core pumping engine, powering the system.
Every single one of these components has to work in perfect harmony. You've got the VS booster pump creating the vital water pressure for 600 rupees. Then there's the solenoid valve, or SV, made of pure copper for 135 rupees, which is absolutely crucial for stopping dirty water from freely flowing when the machine is turned off. The adapter provides the power for around 170 to 200 rupees. And that 35 rupee float switch we mentioned earlier, it fully automates the machine, neatly cutting the power the exact moment that 16-liter tank is full.
Now I know what you're probably thinking. At just 600 rupees, that pump has to be refurbished, right? No way. To highlight the quality you are getting at this rock-bottom price, the manufacturer actually offers a massive 1 lakh rupee cash reward to anyone who can prove it's a repaired unit. They are 100% brand new. This just perfectly illustrates how wholesale pricing doesn't mean you're compromising on quality when you go straight to the source.
All right, Part 4, the filtration and membrane brain, the science of clean water.
Let's physically trace the journey of the water step by step through these incredibly affordable filters. First up, water hits the outside pre-filter bowl. That costs just 33 rupees, and it catches the thick outside dirt. Next, it moves inside the machine to the sediment filter for 48 rupees, stopping the fine dirt and sand. Then the water passes through a 48 rupee carbon filter to strip out bad smells and odors. Finally, it hits the absolute core of the machine, the RO membrane, which starts at just 190 rupees.
And the crucial point here is that this RO membrane is literally the brain of the operation. Resting inside a simple 60 rupee housing, this single component does the heavy lifting of reverse osmosis. It drastically reduces Kara, that hard, salty water. It takes TDS, total dissolved solids, from wildly dangerous levels like 3,000 all the way down to a super healthy, safe drinking range of 100 to 150. It's the true mastermind protecting your health.
Which brings us to Part 5, Final Polish and Enhancements, customizing the water.
Once the water is pure, you can actually customize the final product based on exactly what your specific customer demands. This instantly increases the retail value of your machine. Depending on what they want, you can adapt the build using an ultraviolet or UV chamber, starting at just 65 rupees for the Nexus brand, which uses light to completely destroy any remaining bacteria. Or you can offer a mineral or alkaline cartridge to ensure perfect pH balance, keeping it between 7 and 10, while restoring healthy minerals and giving the water a really crisp, great taste.
To round out the entire build, you have these inexpensive but totally essential final accessories. The flow restrictor flushes out the rejected dirty water for literally mere pennies. The diverter valve set, costing just 25 rupees, safely connects the RO unit right to the home's main plumbing. And finally, the drinking tapper faucet dispenses that beautiful pure water, and that starts at just 15 rupees. All these tiny components ensure a highly professional, polished final product.
Let's wrap this up with Part 6. Start your RO business today. Logistics and next steps. The logistics of getting started are actually incredibly straightforward. The ordering process is totally transparent, with shipments going everywhere across India, from Sikkim all the way to Kolkata. If you want to verify the operation for yourself, they have an open invitation to visit the warehouse personally in DLF Angkor Vihar, which is just 5 kilometers from ISBT Kashmiri Gate in Delhi. And for those of you thinking big, there are real opportunities to secure an exclusive on-paper distributorship for your entire city, complete with full guidance, paperwork, and assembly training support to practically guarantee your success.
The folks over at V-Drop RO Systems put it perfectly. They said, "Today, see how unemployment is rising. In this season, if you don't earn, you never will." And wow, that quote really captures the exact urgency of the moment, doesn't it? The tools to start are incredibly cheap. The demand during the sweltering summer is exceptionally high, and the opportunity to build a highly sustainable livelihood is quite literally sitting right in front of you. Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. With premium components costing mere fractions of their retail price and massive summer demand looming, what is truly stopping you from building your first machine today? Think about it. You now hold the insider blueprint to a high-margin business. The factory prices are no longer hidden. So, will you take that first step toward financial independence? Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll catch you next time.